Hello, this is Daniel Bome, also known as the Abbey Rabbi, broadcasting from Abbotsford, British Columbia in the valley, all right, the Fraser Valley. Anyway, I told you I'd take you out to see some of the sights of British Columbia. You're at my work. I'm watching some kind of thing happening at the famous Tradex in Abbotsford, British Columbia. You can Google it and find it, right? Or some kind of sporting event is happening down here, and there's trailers surrounding it. Anyway, I'm talking to you today about the apocalypse. And when you're looking at Revelation, you have to be able to take such places as the how to translate and how to understand prophetics. Now, there are two major schools out there. One is there's an actual literal um, understanding or interpretation, word for word, everything will be fulfilled. The other one's more, the school thinks that it's more allegorical. And as such, um, that leaves a lot of things for open interpretation onto the individual and how they perceive it. For example, how would I describe this in the 3rd BC? I couldn't. It's a traitor to me today, but back then I didn't know what it was. Even in the earliest of the 1800s, 1900s, when the train came through, First Nations people didn't quite know how to describe it. So John had to describe things of modern day technology in situations that he had no clue what he was looking at. So he did the best he could to describe it in such a manner that it would understand. However, when you're doing this in an allegorical means, it, it you're left with the question: what's he really talking about? Well, it could be this, it could be this, and it could be this, it could be this, and there's a lot of guesswork when it comes to allegorical. The thing to understand is when the Messiah walked on this planet, he had an actual physical, literal interpretation as to the Old Testament's prophecies when it came to himself and how it was carried out and fulfilled right to the T. Each one of the emissaries continued to echo it all through the entire, what we call the good news or gospel. So they all had the schooling of an actual physical, literal interpretation as far as prophecy goes. Then why would we think that the rules somehow would change when it came to the revelation of Yeshua and is described by Yonakan? I don't believe it would have. So I'm going to stick to the literal interpretation during the next few videos as to what it was all about. So I thought I'd put that in there just to interpret what it is I'm saying so everybody understands. Now, there will be people who will debate and argue, and you know what? In the end time, as I've said to you a million times, God will dot his I's and cross his T's. It's not up to me to say this is exactly what it is, nor is it up to you. It is up to God, and he fulfill it. He might do it your way, he might do it my way. Then again, he can select his own way and simply go, I'm going to go for D, none of the above, and we're all going to be wrong. Don't forget it is written, let God be true and every man a liar. I'm still a man, and I might make mistakes, but in the meantime, I'm going to do my teachings on the literal interpretation of Scripture, and when I'm mentioning it to you and the text in the Bible, you'll understand what it's all about. So until the next edition of this series, this is Rabbi Daniel Bome from Abbotsford, British Columbia, down at the Tradex. You can Google it uh, at some kind of event show, sporting show. There's boats, trailers, everything down here. It's awesome. But anyway, man, I wish I had the money to buy one of these things. But blessings are not mine, and I won't covet this, but they are just simply sweet. Some of these are really nice little gizmos and contraptions. And until next time, this is Rabbi Daniel saying shalom and much